Crash Bandicoot was a household name in the 90s, being the poster boy for the PlayStation, rivaling two biggest gaming mascots at the time, Mario and Sonic, who were already rivaling each other. But then Crash, in all of his orange glory, came along and demolished both of them in sales, thanks to the PlayStation's 3 dimensions. Crash has changed the way gaming was, and forever will be. And then stinky Nintendo came along with an analog stick, an open world level design, and ruined him. Okay, well, not ruined him, but swept him under the rug, if you would. That was the era where Sonic bowed down to them, for Sega stopped with hardware, which was for the better. And when Naughty Dog stopped developing Crash games, he bowed down to Nintendo. So Nintendo stayed on top. They ruled the gaming industry, and soon they will take over the world, and we will all bow down to them. Nothing will be able to stop them. Nintendo will always rule. Which brings me to these 3 incredible games, which are in no way at all in a negatively bad area whatsoever. Then why am I here? Crash Bandicoot on the Game Boy Advance, Crash Bandicoot on the go, and fully 2D and pixelated. The first case of Mario's longtime enemy is on his own console exclusively. Now, let's see if they're any good. It's not like I said that they were bad, just like before. That was a joke, by the way. Not all of them are bad. Now, let's give this a spin. Do we really have to do this every episode? I really don't like these. Go find who's writing the script. Let me help you. Now, what better way to start this video than taking a look at the first game that was released in this trilogy? Crash Bandicoot The Huge Adventure, or Crash Bandicoot XS as it's known in Europe, the first Crash game to go fully 2D. The plot of this game is Cortex comes up with the plan to shrink the planet, and now Crash, Coco, and Aku Aku needs to find the power crystals to use the machine to turn it back to normal size. This plan sounds really good on paper, but just wait until you see how Cortex tries to stop them. It's so hilariously stupid, like you're gonna like it. As for the gameplay, woo! I mean, it's not out of this world, but man, am I feeling it. We got all our basic moves like the spin, the slide, the jumps. Can't have a platform without those, now can you? We got our gameplay variety levels as well, like the underwater levels, the jetpack levels, the space fight levels, the bear riding level, and the boss fights aren't just platforming levels either, like Dingodale's boss fight is underwater, Engine's boss fights with the jetpack, Tiny's boss fight, and Cortex's boss fight is, well, it's an improvement. And you get the power-ups from Crash Bandicoot Warped after beating every boss. Crash works too well in 2D. Of course, 100% of the game is the same. You break every box in a level to get a gem, find hidden color gems, and you get all the platinum time trial relics by beating the level as fast as you can. And believe it or not, I had to do all of that. I'm not okay. I need medical attention. I've gone insane. Or should I say, insane. However, there is one big problem for this small Crash. On a small console, they need to fit as much draw distance as possible, and even then, they don't do a really good job at it. You might miss stuff out of view, and there are a lot of leap of faith. If God's on your side, you'll be able to make them just fine. And that will also be a problem when it comes to the relics. Just don't bring those up. Now let's talk about the levels themselves. Let's say if I were to put these 2 screenshots in front of you, do they look like the same level to you? If you said that they are, well, guess what? You're wrong. We have the exact same 7 themes, and the levels structured based on those themes are extremely similar to each other. And it gets even worse when you have to see them every world that you go in. That's probably one of the most annoying parts of this game, in my opinion. In classic Crash fashion, to get the true ending, you need to get 100%, which would explain why I did it. Now when you beat Cortex, who shrunk himself to kill you! What? Why would he do that? He could have stepped on my planet like an ant. He would over the galaxy if he wanted to. So dumb, man. And now you have to face the real final boss, who is, oh my god, what is that? Kill it, burn it, chop it up, and eat it for dinner. What is that? It even looks more of a snake than I am. Now you get the heck out of there, use the crystals to bring the planet to normal size, and the credits roll. You know, to be honest, Crash Bandicoot Huge Adventure isn't really that bad of a game. It has good gameplay, it had a good soundtrack, and besides a few hiccups here and there, I would definitely play it again. And I did. For the video. And now, we're going to move on to the next game, Crash Bandicoot 2 and Trans, or Trans. Not to be confused with Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex And Trance takes everything from the Huge Adventure and makes it better, like times 10. Yeah, gameplay and graphics barely changed, and it still suffers from original level design, but it is still somehow better in every aspect. There are new level themes, vehicle levels, playable characters, the bosses are more creative, and the Ost! This time around, Entropy is the main villain, because Cortex's stupid self didn't do it right the first time. I wouldn't trust him either. And this is huge, because Cortex doesn't show up at all in this game. Like, he is gone. He is out of the park. And he's never been out of the equation before. The fact that Cortex isn't the main villain in this story makes a completely different experience. And this was before Twinsanity. But I guess Twinsanity had him in it, and this game doesn't, so I mean, it's another good thing about this game. So Entropy makes a new character, Entrance, I still don't know how to say his name, who kidnaps the Bandicoots and takes them to the Harrod to make them evil. And Crash gets out, of course, and to take his place, fake Crash comes out for some reason. I don't know how that occurred, but we'll just have to deal with it, I guess. Strange enough, they don't realize that it isn't the real Crash, but I guess this game would have never happened if they did, so. Now, just like last time, we need to find the power crystals and find out where Trophy and Duke is hiding. Let me just get this out of the way here. The platforming levels play the same. That stays unchanged, and it makes sense too. But there are a lot of new gameplay mechanics in between those levels, and are honestly pretty genius. And there are completely new vehicles as well, like the wakeboarding, the balls, the space ring thingy. And remember those new playable characters I was talking about? Yeah, you get to play as the other Bandicoots. Crash handles the wakeboarding and the platforming and one of those ball levels, I guess. Crunch takes care of the other ones, and then Coco is playable in the space levels where you control this ring thing. And you're being chased by fire, I guess. I really don't like those. Those are not enjoyable at all. I hate them a lot. And in between some platforming levels, there are these vehicle parts too. The magic carpet in the Arabian levels, also used to defeat Evil Crunch, and the helicopter pack in the volcano levels, I guess, used to defeat Evil Coco and Entrance in his second phase. Unfortunately, none of the old vehicles in the Huge Adventure show up, as well as those themes in the game, which is disappointing because we still have the same freaking 100% in the game still involves breaking the crates, getting the gems, and getting the relics. And there still is the true final boss and true ending. But it's kind of different. Instead of getting the hidden gems as a whole, you have to find these hidden gem shards, and they're much easier to find than the regular gems, but that makes sense because it isn't the whole thing, so it makes sense that it'd be easier to find than the other ones. Now, honestly, this is an amazing idea. Now you can explore more levels than just the one where the hidden gem is. And it gets even better, when instead of beating the final boss and defeating the other boss after that one, you have to play 3 new levels, find the gems in those, and then move on to the next level. And then you get to the true final boss. And even better than that, you don't even have to get the platinum relics to get to the true boss. Like, I just want to know where these guys were for the Huge Adventure. Oh, and for the true final boss, you fight Entropy in all the areas that you went to, and you take a picture to celebrate. Oh, but what's this? Uka Uka says there's a very dangerous foe in the next game. I bet he means business for this next game, Crash Bandicoot Purple Ripple's Rage. Let's see what this dangerous foe is talking about. Is Crash Purple. What can I say about Crash Purple? Why is it called Crash Purple? Well, Crash Purple is a crossover between Crash Bandicoot and his brother from another mother, Spiral the Dragon. Explains why it's called Ripple's Rampage as well. I mean, it's a match made in nostalgia heaven. They both were previously owned by Universal, had an amazing trilogy on the PlayStation, and their original developers lost the rights to them, which turned their games to shit, and now they finally exist in the same universe as each other. Don't know why it's on the GBA though. Would have been better if it was like a PS2 crossover, since they were both PlayStation mascots, but hey, at least we have more content to dish out. Now, let's start with the story. What even is this? Cortex and Ripto just decide to team up. No explanation to why or how. They just team up like they already knew each other. They used to hang out near the swings in middle school. Now there's a machine that produces Rip-Tonks, which is made to look like Spyro and Crash, and somehow they fall for it? And since we're playing with Crash's perspective, we gotta find Spyro and kill him. And so the game begins. Now, we already started with this game, and I'm loving this hub world. I like when games do hub worlds like these. I don't know why, I just do. It's a great first impression of the game. And now, for our first level, we got ourselves a good old-fashioned bear riding level. I missed these in Entrance, and now they're back. But now it's a side-scroller. I mean, I guess it's alright. Wouldn't make this the first level, but whatever, it's passable. Next, we got this Space Invaders-esque level where you shoot sheep with the rocket launcher. I guess it's fun. That's about all I can say about it. And now we're in a tank. Like, okay. And then there's a helicopter. A lazy river. What kind of game is this? Oh my god. It's Spyro. Spyro and Crash finally met each other, and now they're about to have the fiercest battle of all time. Okay, I'm pretty sure you know where I'm getting at with this. This is nowhere near the quality of the first two games. In fact, quality was thrown right out the window. This was what we would like to call a minigame collection. Minigame collections aren't that bad. However, it has to be done right. And about 30% of the minigame collections I've played in my life, including this one, failed. Like, failed. This one was made with the mentality of the two of gaming's greatest mascots of all time being in the same game. Well, actually, two separate games, but you know, potato, potato. This isn't a game. It's a not game. Very funny, I know. I'm not kidding when I say that literally the best part of this entire game is the hub worlds and the bonus levels that you don't have to do, by the way. Why would I play this game? If I knew it was gonna be bad, why did I agree to play it? What's wrong with me? Actually, no, quite a few things that's wrong with me. You see, also 100% the game is still required to get to the end. However, there are no relics. Oh, thank God. But the gem still exists, and getting them in levels like these, let's just say Ripto wasn't the only one rampaging. And I have no reason to waste my breath telling you how it ends. Its conclusion ends just as lazily as its introduction. Now you might be saying, maybe you're too harsh on the game. Well, no, I'm not too harsh on the game. I'm saying the truth, and the truth is, this doesn't deserve to be a Crash game. This doesn't deserve to be a Spyro game. The formula, isn't even there. It's just a cash grab. And I really hope we don't play any more Spyro games on the GBA, because then that would mean I have to play Spyro Orange, and I don't want to play Spyro Orange, because what I experienced here was absolute and utter bull. Of course, one time on the show, okay? Oh, also the huge adventure and entrance were an amazing introduction to Crash in only 2D. Crash Purple never happened, And there were no more Crash games made on the GBA after that, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Huh. Okay, I'm only bringing this up because this one was also made by Vicarious Visions. So, like, why not bring it up at least? I haven't played it that much. I only played like 20 minutes of it. But I didn't really plan on making it for the video. But, I mean, I guess it's too late now because I played it. So the gameplay is like, imagine Mario Kart Super Circuit. Take it out of the molasses that it was in and put it in more molasses. It's slow, slippery, not fun at times, and these crunched voices. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but I don't really like it. But if you do, then good on you, but it's not my cup of tea. But if it's yours, then sure, but it's not mine, so, you know, we have our preferences, you know. We can have our preferences, but I don't have mines with it. But I did find myself actually enjoying it at times, but most of it was not enjoyable. What's this? Spyro's a playable character in this game? And this came out before Crash Purple? That means this was the first example of Crash and Spyro crossing over. And this game will forever foreshadow the unfortunate events to come. It's a decent racing game. It's just, it could be better. But to be fair, the original Micro Kart wasn't that good either, so what did you really expect? And now we're done. There are no more Crash games on the GBA. That was it. That was it. Phew! Oh man, that wasn't bad for our first multi-game video. Alright, that's a wrap. Let's go home. We already are home. Finally. Oh. Well, that video's definitely gonna be a pain to edit. Well, it's a good thing I'm not editing it. Finally, I can relax. How long have we been doing this? Like a week? Yeah. Feels really gonna be late. What? What was that? I don't know. Maybe we should go check. Hell no. What, are you scared? No, I'm not scared. You're the one scared here. You jumped out. I'm definitely not going alone. So I'm just gonna take you with me. Where? Take me to the crash site, of course. How'd you know it was a crash site? I don't know, I just wanted to say crash because, you know, it's a